Welcome to another edition of Top Lines and Tails. This week we're sponsored by Harbro, manufacturers and suppliers of quality livestock nutrition. Again this week I'm delighted to have our special guest host, Kayley Kennedy, chatting with the younger generation.
Welcome to another edition of Top Lines and Tails, where this week I'm speaking to young sheep enthusiast Jack Buckle from the northeast over near Cumbria, Stephen. He runs Swales, Blue Faced Leicesters, mules, Texel, cross sheep, Beltex, along with his brother Tom and their father Kevin. How are you doing, Jack? You all right?
Yeah, that's fine, Kayley. Are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So, Buckles Farm, where you live, I naively thought Buckles Farm was named after the Buckles boys, but you say your grandfather was the first to move to Buckles Farm.
Yeah, what a coincidence that is, really. Grandad moved in 1947. He started renting the farm in 1947, and then he bought it. Decided to buy it in 1979, and yeah, it's been in ever since, really.
Grand, good. And so swales that you're running there mostly, you've got kind of different tiers of, you've got hill and then kind of moving down to better ground, but the swales will have been there since your granddad was there, would that be right?
Yeah, no, mad swale enthusiast really back in the day. Yeah,
and so breeding your own mules as well, and then putting them to Texels. But you sell some swale tops too, so you did quite well last year at some of the sales.
Yeah, no, it was our best achievement to date with the swales. We sold Buckles Fury for 13,000.
Yeah.
Personal best. So
Grand.
yeah.
Can you remember how he was bred then? What was the breeding behind him?
Yeah, it was by West Briscoe round. We paid 16,000 for 2 years before, and his mother was a Helpback.
Ah, right. So good that top's kind of making his money back for you already. That's a good go.
Yeah, I know he did well, but then we blew it all the next day and bought our start up for 16,000. So yeah, we're in negative equity.
Yeah, got to be done. Got to invest to make it though, haven't you? And so you're breeding using the swales, putting Blue Faced Leicester on them to breed your mules that'll form a main part of your flock. Putting Texels on them, and you were saying you sell a lot of yow lambs over to France.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a stratified system up here with land varying from right at the top of the fell where the swales are, right further down. So yeah, we've got our cross swales, breeding with mules. We sell quite a few of them, but keep most of them for our own breeding. And then the mules will be put to the Texel tub. And breed our Texel cross mule ewe lambs, which we sell over to France.
Yeah, and have you been doing that for a while?
Yeah, it'll be about 9 years ago since we started, and it's just seemed to expand ever since, really. The market over there, I don't know whether the French sheep over there just aren't as good as the English sheep. I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
But they can't get enough of them, really.
Well, that's good news for you. And of course, you're scrapie monitored, so that helps with all the recent regulations that have come in. So you'll have no worries about that. You can still sell to the market across there, can't you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a godsend, really. We've been in for quite a few years now, really, and yeah, it just makes our sheep more.
Yeah, keeps the markets open for sure.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And so a lot of folk these days will probably know you for your Beltex stock. You do very well with both your Buckles flock, and then you and Tom have got your own Broxty flock as well. And you said you started after foot and mouth disease when your dad, Kevin, went across to Belgium and came home with a few.
Yeah, Dad ran a few commercial Beltex, just took in the muley hours really before then. Anyways, we were badly wiped out with foot and mouth in 2001. So yeah, Dad decided, yeah, we'll go over and see what it's all about. Maybe try and breed a few. So he went and bought six of his first sheep from Sonia Desjardins and Christophe Ledont.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started, really.
Grant, and can you remember much about then? What was the attraction of them?
Just the double muscling, really. That's back in them days. Beltex weren't known at all round these areas. It was just a Swaledale and mule world round here. White-faced sheep weren't anything. So yeah, Dad got a few strange looks when he brought them in years ago.
Imagine.
But no.
Yeah, and you've gone strength from strength, and some of those Belgian lines will still feature in the flock today.
Yes, I do. Yeah, no, straight. Yeah, but still, if you look back years and years and generations, they're still there, really.
Yeah.
No, they are.
Yeah, and you've had quite a lot of successes with them as well. So you'll have won quite a few in the local circuit, Cockermouth, your local Bruff show. But your first big success, I think, was the Yorkshire Show with College Adele.
Yeah, that was the first major interbreed we've ever won. It was Sunday was that.
Yeah.
Remember.
And she was a one crop yow at the time, but what a yow she is! I remember seeing her a couple of years later, and she's a big strapping lass, isn't she?
Yeah, don't see many like her really.
No. And so would you say you got kind of lucky picking her up at Ted Fox's sale the previous year?
Yeah, well, mind you, she looked dear at the time. She looked dear a year after when she didn't push anything as well. But we managed to get lucky, and we managed to get a couple of good pushes out of a year after, which hasn't half helped our flock now.
Yeah.
Probably the strongest batch of gimmicks we've ever had this time, and with a big proportion of them all being out of Adele's. So yeah, no, hopefully he's finally repaid us.
Aye, good. Well, maybe we'll just say she was a late starter, will she?
Feel like Ted.
Yeah. And you've had success north of the border as well, haven't you? You said you were one of the first ever English champions at the Highland Show.
Yeah, with the Beltex. Yeah, went up with Broxley Whisper, one of mine and Tom's own. Gimme Shearing with the Irish judge Wade McCrabb was judging, and yeah, we placed the Gimme Shearing class, then on to female champion, then won the breed champion.
I bet that was some day for you as well, especially it being your and Tom's breeding.
Yes, yeah, definitely. No, that was one of the days to remember as well.
Yeah.
Party after party.
I can just imagine. And she was a good breeder for you as well, though, wasn't she?
She did well, really. We flushed her that autumn. To be honest, she flushed 5 eggs. We managed to get 2 lambs out of her. One was Broxley Boxer, one was Broxley Bruiser. Yes, we saw Boxer that year, beating the previous record. I think it was set at 12,000. We beat him to 25,000 sold, and we sold him to Andrew Wood down in Preston, who's dispersal sales next week. And then yes, we sold Bruiser for 3,500 the year after. We kept him as a shearing, as we thought it would grow out better shearing, and we sold him to Andrew Bailey for 3,500 the year after. So, she did well, very well.
Aye, making up for only getting 2 eggs out of her, two live lambs.
Maybe a female would have been better as well, just to keep the line going. But
of course. And
nothing good, does it?
No, exactly. Not with sheep anyway. And as you say, Boxer sold down to AJ with the trees. He made quite a mark there as well. So that'll be good for you lads, seeing your breeding do so well.
Yes, yeah, no, we bought many female back, either by him or granddaughters to him, because his mother was probably one of the nicest gimmers I think we've had for a while on the farm, really. So it was good to get some breeding back by her out of her.
Yeah, we used Boxer in our flock as well for our first year, and he did leave a good stamp, that's for sure. You can tell his females, that's for definite.
Yeah, no, he's a proper Beltex, real nice head and muscle everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what Beltex is about, really.
Exactly. Nice sparky heads on them, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, he's always forward.
Yeah.
He is all.
And as far as years go, I think 2019 would take some beating. You did well back at the Yorkshire Show, didn't you, with Dark Intentions?
Yeah, it all started at the Yorkshire Show, really. Well, actually, no, it all started at the Cumberland Show. We're overall champion of the Cumberland Show in interbreed that year with Desire.
Yeah.
Crossed Desire. Went on to the Yorkshire Show after that, and we were overall champion of the Yorkshire Show with Buckle's Dark Intentions.
Dark Intentions, he brought some old breeding and back in, didn't he? He was by Glantron Norris, and I think I remember your dad telling me that was a bit of a luck penny. He got given some semen as luck penny, and that was just a bit of chance that he managed to get that.
Yeah, and I was judging down in Cornwall, and he put a tuck champion down there, which he buying privately, and the person who we bought it off had some Norwich semen left, so I said, try and get a couple of doses for luck. Anyways, he managed to. Yeah. So it was a job well done, really.
Too right, good bartering skills there. And so Dark Intentions, he went on and made 11,000 at Carlisle, but he was passed by another one of your tops that sold for 30,000, wasn't he?
Yeah, Daft On. Yeah, no, he was a boy in 2019.
Yeah. And he sold to Alfie Taylor at Heathery Hall, and gosh, he's fairly made his mark there. He's sold lambs privately to 15,000 and 10,000, I think. So.
Yeah, money back in his first year of breeding. I don't know that standard. It takes all in 1 year to get your money back on him. I know that.
Exactly. No, he's done well out of him. That's for sure. But I mean, the big prices didn't stop there for you in 2019. You sold Einstein, a lamb, for 11,000. And you also sold another one private for a half share for 30,000, didn't you?
Yeah, we sold Espresso privately before the sale. He went to Andrew Wood as well to AJ. You're going to see his sheep next week. You'll see what a nice stamp he's put on his lambs. Tremendous. We kept our share, and we've got a lovely game going to the Yorkshire Show next week by him, and a game of lamb as well. Yeah. So he's done well. Yeah.
And so over the years, is there any Beltex that you've seen on the circuit or at sales that you've thought, God, that's a good stamp? Any that you've admired?
Yeah, Stu Wood was great champion with the Gimmer at the Highland Show. I can't remember her name. She was a lovely thing, was that?
That was City Girl. She was a picture, wasn't she?
Yes, yeah. She had a presence about her. She just looked like a champion. She was a bit like when we won with Whisper. She had her ears forward. She had a bit of you let it go. She had that sparky look about her. Yeah, you could tell she was nothing special.
Yeah, that's it. If they know that they're worth it, then that goes a long way in the show ring, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No.
And so, you've had your big successes with selling tops over the years, but you do well selling females as well. You're probably quite well known for selling strong female lines, and one of them was Baby Bell, which actually sold to Stuart Wood, and she's left a good stamp for him as well, hasn't she?
Yes, yeah, no, Baby Bell. She was we got a good flush from Woody's Natasha, and we were quite on the ground, so we decided, we'll best one of them. So we sold Baby Bell at the beauty sale for 7,500. Yeah, she's left a mark. Definitely left a mark.
Yeah, I know she's done well, and you've had other ones as well. Was it just last year you sold Emily for 5.5?
Yeah, Emily, she sold to the arts. She would flop for 5.5. Yeah, I think they're very happy with her.
Yeah, no, it's always good to see them going on and doing well. And so, Jack, you've had a couple of female lines that have done really well for you over the years. What about any sires that have helped shape the flock?
Probably one of the main ones years ago, a tub called Newton Leo. We bought him for 3,000, back years and years ago, the L Regis. And he definitely has been the biggest influence of rams we've ever used. He'll be in about 90% of the flock of yows. He's in everything. We're still using great grandsons by him. He was probably the main one there was.
That put you on the map. And what was it that you left then? Was it a good stamp? What did he do for you?
Just tight skins, blue, and plenty of bum, plenty of muscle.
What it's all about.
Which is, you can still see some of the tubs we sell this time. You can still see him in them. Definitely.
Yeah, good to know. And more recently, has there been any others that have kind of done as well for you, or would it be hard to beat that Newton Leo?
I don't know. We bought 2 or 3 tubs from the Art Stewart flock, which have done very, very well for us, including Super Mario. Yeah, Super Mario crossed very well onto a lot of our yows. He crossed very well, and then more recently we bought Stewart Armani, who was obviously the father of Backdawn. And plenty of other tubs over the last few years. Really, he's been a very influential tub. He died too soon. Like all the good ones.
Exactly. Hopefully, you've got plenty in the tank from him.
It's getting less.
I mean, the Beltex, I think it's fair to say, has kind of changed over the years while it's been in the country since the late 80s. But what is it that you like about the Beltex so much now?
It's just how unique they are, really. They're like no other breed of sheep. They've got this double muscling trait, which you can't find anywhere else. I don't know. The breed itself seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year, which is fair enough. The modern commercial man is wanting a bigger sheep, but people just can't forget where it all started. Beltex, that's double muscling, really. Whatever we do, we can't lose what the breed is meant for, really.
It's all about, yeah. I mean, one thing that I've noticed is there is a Beltex for every job. You know, people want a bigger one for going on mules, they want a smaller one to breed the good prime lambs, but they're all there, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. There's plenty of different types of Beltex. Yeah.
Grand. And so, sticking with 2019, and it wasn't just Beltex that you were doing well with in the show ring. Your first time at the Yorkshire Show with Blue Faced Leicesters, and you got champion and reserve, no less.
Yeah, two sheep. I took my first ever two sheep to the Yorkshire, to the Blues, and yeah, champion home red aged Yow and reserve champion with a gimme sheep ring.
Happy days. And they're a relatively new venture for you, aren't they?
I was sort of messing about with them years ago, but I never really thought about getting into it fully. I bought my first gimmer off from Midlock for 3,500 in maybe about 2015, 2016, and I just never really got into a job properly. I took it to my granddad's beer after to go and get tupped to one of his stock tups, and that bred my show out really after that.
Yeah.
She wasn't a very good flush at the time, but she went out and won the Yorkshire Show with her in 2019, and then decided to go to try a bit further. So we went and bought a good stock tup in Poppers that autumn for 1,000. That was maybe SM1. So we flew to Ben. She decided to drop 28. That's it. And that's how it all started, really. Last few years, it's just been full of that breeding.
Yeah, just taken off, and you've probably been quite lucky then with the start that you had, because your granddad Porter's at Ridding's quite well known in the breed as well, so you'll have had some good pointers along the way from him.
Yeah, I've been mentored, right? Definitely.
And you've done well selling too.
Yeah. First ever go to horse. I took 4 lambs. We were four full brothers out of my show, Yow and Bar, and one. I didn't really know what to expect. Didn't have a clue really. Anyways, I sold very, very well. Top of 6,800. Me at the 4 average 3,700. Couldn't wish for anything better start at all.
Exactly. As far as starts go in a breed, I don't think you can top that, can you?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
And so, are there some that you've admired in the show ring, like you said about Woody City Girl in the Beltex world? What about any blue faces along the way?
Yeah, it was a lovely in Champion Island show a few years ago from Cumbria, Dyke. She was a fantastic shape, real sharp colours, and I haven't got any of her bloody in my flock yet, but no, I quite like some of them in the coming years, really. No,
got plenty of time ahead for that, and you know, having Beltex and Blue Faced Leicesters, they probably couldn't be any more contrasting in looks. They both obviously got their very important roles in the sheep industry in the UK. What's the attraction with you for the Blue Faced Leicesters? What made you want to get into them?
They're just such a good sheep to be round, really. There's nothing better than going into a field and you see your flock of gimmers or your flock of lambs or anything like that coming towards you. There's no better sight, really, I wouldn't think. The ears are going all about the ears with them. You need a good set of ears on a sheep.
Yeah.
You can't have better than Leicester's ears. Yeah. Definitely not.
And they do enjoy a bit of sunbathing too, don't you? I do quite like seeing them in the fields doing their sunbathing.
Yeah, they do.
And is the plan then to start using your own blues on your swales for your own mule production as well?
Yeah, no, that's the plan with them. Hopefully the numbers will start increasing over the next few years, and with our swales as well, and hopefully get to the point where we don't need to really buy tups in, just be stocked up every year or every other year, and hopefully breed our own after that, and use you know what you're getting then if you keep using your proven bloodlines all the time. You sort of, you know what's going to get well and what really isn't after that, instead of a bit of a lottery pick if you buy one.
That's it, and a lot of these shearling Blue Faced Leicester buyers, they like knowing that the tup's already been used on yows to produce mules that have done well at yow lamb sales, so it all kind of works in quite nicely for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's not just kind of you recently that's brought in the successes, because your dad Kevin was the Northern Farmer Sheep Farmer of the Year back in that famous 2019 for you. How did that all come about?
Yeah, well, to be honest, we don't have a clue, really. Someone nominated us. Still to this day, we don't know who nominated us. No, if I'd like to tell, it would be good, but no.
Nobody
I
owned
still
up.
don't know. No, it was a good night, great night, great achievement, and yeah, just a shame it was in the middle of lambing time, and yeah, the next day wasn't very fun.
I can imagine, but a fair accolade to add to your busy year that year. And
yes, definitely.
You've got Buckle's genetics heading abroad as well. You're some of the first British genetics to head to New Zealand for a long time.
Yeah, just a few years ago, the doors opened up to start letting genetics from different countries into New Zealand again. First time since I think it could have been early 70s, I maybe think. And yeah, we were approached by a nice couple who came over to save a flock. They handpicked 25 yows out for us to do a flush and freeze program for them, resulting in 200 embryos we ended up getting, which went and started Beltex New Zealand, which has been a massive success for them, I think.
Yeah, they certainly have. Seen top lambs selling up to about $27,000 a couple of years back. So yeah, they seem to be taking off, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. The embryos are looking cheap now, I would think.
Yeah, you'll need to do another batch for them soon. Not just sheep on the go at Buckles and Broxy, is it? You've got some hen houses as well.
Yeah, we run 32,000 free-range hens on the other farm at Broxty. We bought Broxty, it was our neighbouring farm, about 9 years ago now, and it was struggling to make the money what it should have been doing, really. So we decided we need to diversify, and we looked into a few things, and we liked the figures and liked the numbers on chickens, so we decided to go for it, and yeah, never looked back. We built the first 16,000 units. It'd be 7 years ago now,
yeah,
and then doubled up to 32 thereafter.
So fairly taken off the hen houses and still going strong as well.
Yeah, no, flying, no, really enjoying it,
Good, a bit different. And looking ahead, we've got, it'll be the second proper show of the season for some of us, but the Yorkshire Show next week, and you've got a bit of a team going to that as well.
Yeah, we've got 5 Beltex and 4 Blues going. The Beltex, they're looking to be a pretty strong team, I would imagine. 3 Gimmers, 1 lamb and 1 Gimmer lamb, and then the Blues is 3 Gimmers and 1 yow with them. So fingers crossed for a good week.
Yeah, you'll be hoping for another repeat of 2019, won't you?
Yeah, it would be nice, but I don't think we can do it 2 years.
Yeah, and it's going to be good to get back to a show, isn't it? They were certainly been missed for the last 18 months, haven't they?
Oh, definitely. I think I forgot how to show shape.
I've certainly forgotten how to dress them. It takes a bit of going, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. First go over is just a bit dodgy, really, but yeah, hang of it before. Huh?
That's it. And have you got any favourite shows on the circuit? The Yorkshire's bound to be up there, but what about some of your local shows?
Yeah, we have a little show right next to it called Bruff Show. We tend to try and go there every year. It's just a nice little show, really.
Grand. And I think that's us, Jack. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you at the Yorkshire next week for a beer or two. And good luck.
Yes, no, definitely. No, same to you.
Grand. We'll see you there. Thanks very much, Jack. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to this week's podcast, which was kindly sponsored by Harbro, suppliers of quality commercial and pedigree feeds and expert nutritional advice. Visit their website or find them on Facebook for more information. And while on the subject of Facebook, why don't you visit the Top Lines and Tails Facebook page, where you'll find photographs and more information to back up this episode.